Hello everyone, hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Hope you didn't get too overwhelmed by Black Friday sales. Or hopefully you got some good deals. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and work on the Stormblood Black Mage quests because I've been putting these off for far too long. We'll go ahead and start the first one at La Lai, where we left off last time. I completely forgot where we ended off on, but since this is a new quest line, we shouldn't need to worry about that. Wait, let's talk to Lala and get started. Yeah, she's with Shitoto. Let me double check that that's the correct quest. It should be. Let's see. Yes, that's the first of the Black Mage quests. Let's go ahead and get started with Shades of Shitoto. Lala is eyeing you expectantly. Ah, Brilliant. I'm glad you're here. I would consult with you about a matter that has been gnawing away at my mind. Thanks in no small part to your efforts, the books of Nodthal have at long last been reunited in these halls, their long-lost secrets just waiting to be unearthed. Though I have scarcely begun poring over the tomes, I have already made a most remarkable discovery. Each of the twin tomes contained a cipher of sorts, the meaning of which could only be deciphered when the two are referenced in tandem. I will spare you the details on how I unraveled the message, though it truly was among my finer moments, if I dare say so myself. Sure, Lalai, sure. At any rate, the words, once decoded, are most evidently an incantation, albeit one entirely unfamiliar to me. Beneath it was writ a small directive. Heir to the dark arts, speak these words unto Nald's reflection, that memories long forgotten may stir anew. As to what precisely these words are referencing, your guess is as good as mine. Still, Master Kukuraka doubtless preserved the incantation and the accompanying message in his records for a reason. And if we are not the heirs to the art of black magic, then who is? So I trust I can expect to see you at Nald's reflection, and do try to hurry, yes? I would prefer not to delay any potential epoch-making discoveries any longer than necessary. Sure, Lalai, sure. Although I was under the impression that I was the Lord of the Black or something. I don't know why she thinks she is. Anyway, let's head on over to Nald's reflection. I gotta remember where that is. I think it's Eastern Thanlin. Oh, Southern Thanlin. Okay. Let's go out there. Just go ahead and fly over here, and then I don't think even teleporting would be any faster. If I recall correctly, this is where we finished off the ARR quest line with the destroying the supposedly world-ending creature. Yeah, it should be like... yeah, it's here. I still don't know why they put these doors here. Like, was this cut out of like ARR or something? Where like you couldn't reach this part? Because I vaguely remember just being able to go down. When did you even go here for ARR? Also, I'm passing where I need to be going. I completely forgot. I know when you go to Little El Amigo, but I don't remember when you go to the here. I don't remember ever actually using this door. Anyway, we're almost there. Let's see what Lala is uncovered and what this incantation will do. Oh, well, it looks like we're gonna fight. Duty calls. Commence battle for Shades of Shitoto? Yes. And that's all you need to know. When I give the sign, you are to chant the words precisely as I instructed. Understood? This does not seem like a good idea. Now, Brilliant. I don't know what goofy chant to do here. That light! You. Yes. You shall serve as the bringer of destruction. As for my vessel, ah, yes. That one should suffice. Uh-oh. Of course, Lala is gonna get possessed. Whatever was that strange sensation? For a moment, it was as if a great fire burned within me, and then... Now, it is as if my very mind is being rent in two, and this voice... Oh. Well, this can't be good. Well, well. It feels good to walk the earth for the first time in 2 millennia. Seems that old Coot proved himself useful after all. If he hadn't kicked it, I'd find him and give him a pat on the back. Well, like question mark, I just noticed that. And what are you gawking at? You are a black mage, are you not? Surely you possess the common sense to recognize the woman who stands before you. Or will you be needing a hint? Oh no. It's gonna be Mormo again? Some would call me Death's handyman. Handymaiden. Handmaiden, not handy. Some would call me Death's handmaiden, but I always found that particular epithet so needlessly morbid. Though technically speaking, I am but a manifestation of a memory. You may call me by the name I used in life. Oh, it's Shitoto, okay. Shitoto, at your service. But I jest, of course. It's you who are at mine. I must say, what is it with black mages today and their unwieldy hats? I knew it was a meme. I didn't realize they'd actually put it in the quest text. Okay. Do they truly believe it makes them look more imposing? Well, if it's a Lala, yeah. Or are they merely compensating for something? This is great. In either event, I have no need for such adornments. Oh, don't ditch the hat. Now, that's more like it. Brilliant, was it? Of course it was. Now that we're on a first-name basis, you'll have to tell me all about yourself. On second thought, let's skip that. Time is short, and to be quite honest, I don't particularly care. At any rate, as I might have mentioned, I'm not the true Shitoto as she once lived, but rather a manifestation of her memory, my memory. Needless to say, that still makes me the most powerful sorceress currently existing in your world. Are you sure about that? You do well to remember that if you ever have a mind to cross me. Well, I see where we're going with this questline. My character just sitting there in disbelief like, are you serious? Are you saying that you're the strongest and not me? Well then, now that we've gotten the pleasantries out of the way, what do you say we have a little fun? Perhaps to be blasted into a gazillion itty-bitty pieces. That does not sound fun. Oh, come now. Must I spell everything out for you? I must know if you are sufficiently adept at the dark arts to help me forestall impending doom. And this is by far the easiest way to do so. Not to mention the most fun. Perhaps for a world of pain, or prepare for a world of pain. Well, time to fight Shitoto. That's not what I expected, but okay. So anyway, I started blasting. How do I do this again? Oh, right. It's been a while since I played Black Mage. Oh, I swear I pressed F. Oh, I don't have triple cast yet. Okay. Of course, I put my ley lines out, and then she... Figures. And I really don't remember how to do this. Good, I recharged it, except that's not what I was aiming for. Man. I don't remember how to do this at all. Let's see, am I supposed to defeat Shitoto first, or the circle? Probably get the circle. This is like gonna literally kill me. Oops, I probably shouldn't be standing in this. You know, the bad. Wrong button. Should really put a dot on that. I suspect I'm not gonna live through this because I'm playing terribly. Of course, I'm paralyzed. Whoops. And I dropped it. And she does like no damage. That's probably intentional. Okay. Last fire 4. That could have gone a little bit better, but it was an easy fight anyway. Not half bad. That painfully dull expression on your face had me worried, but I suppose you'll do after all. Do for what? Try keeping up, will you? I abhor repeating myself. Let me start at the beginning. 2,300 years ago, the greatest mage of our realm has ever known, that would be me, compiled a choice assortment of the most potent offensive incantations and evocations into the school known as Black Mage. You still seem puzzled. I also devised a spell that would allow my memory to one day return. My reasons were twofold. For one, I simply had to see for myself how the art of destruction would be handed down eras after I had inevitably passed. For another, I knew that without my guidance, this realm would one day meet most certain... Oh, this won't do. I had thought the girl stronger than this, but these eyelids grow heavy and my consciousness wanes. I suppose I'll just have to take a little nap. Shitoto? But remember this, my puppet of destruction, you have an important role to play in the battle to come. A battle that will decide the fate of your very world. Till next I wake, shirk not your study of the art. I've got Lalai back? Yeah. Brilliant! Where are we? It is just as if I woke from the strangest dream. And yet, my every limb aches, as if my respite were more exhausting than the fiercest of battles. Did you perchance observe anything odd happen to me? No? Well, you were kind of possessed by Shitoto. Oh, and you lost your hat. Preposterous, or so most would say. But you have no reason to tell me falsehoods, and it would certainly explain the curious symptoms I found myself experiencing. Shitoto, the mother of our dark art, she who pursued the power of destruction to and beyond any limits that could be conceived. Has her consciousness truly taken up residence in my own mind? Exclamation point. It is no use. I call out, but she does not answer. Whether she slumbers or simply deigns not to answer, I cannot say. I fear I am at something of a loss. Let's return to the Sacrium and clear our heads. Mayhap the answers we seek will yet reveal themselves to us. Okay. Let's head back to Old Da. And let's go to the Sacrium. Yep, same place as before. Alright, Lalai / Shitoto, let's wrap this up. I'm afraid it's no use. I've called out to Shitoto within my mind time and time again, but I'm met with only silence. If only Master were still here, surely he could shed some light on the matter. After all, it was he that recorded for posterity the words we used to summon forth Shitoto's memory. Wait, that's it. Master himself may not be here, but his writings may yet contain the answer to our queries. It was within the statue of Nald that the memory slumbered. This does not strike me as a mere coincidence. I believe that settles it. I will return to the tomes and see what knowledge can be gleaned, that we might prepare ourselves for whatever task awaits us. This holds for you as well, Berillion. Whatever Shitoto's motives for returning to us, I cannot shake the feeling that ill happenings are afoot. I suggest you resume your studies with the utmost urgency. Okay. Next quest is level 63. Yeah. I haven't heard the Stormblood quest completion in forever. Anyway, we're already at level 86, so we're going to be able to just breeze right through all these. So let's go ahead and talk to Lalai and start the next one. Golem. Golem's gone wild. Lalai would share with you the knowledge she has gleaned. Ah, brilliant. Good. For better or worse, it would seem Shitoto is still enjoying herself a peaceful slumber. In the meantime, my studies of the books of Thal has proven rather enlightening. In particular, I was surprised to learn that while the statue of Nald's reflection is relatively recent construction, in historical terms, of course, the goblet it holds in its hands is quite ancient. It would appear that it was within that vessel Mistress Shitoto's soul was sealed away. Master's record goes on to state that the inner surface of the goblet is inscribed with a message in the glyphs of ancient Mach. It reads, yes, here it is. The power of destruction did rend the baleful star, and peace doth reign near and far. Yet 23 centuries hence shall it come anew, and certain doom it is sure to ensue. A prophecy of sorts, it would seem. It has been roughly 2,300 years since Shitoto founded black magic, which means it is entirely possible she herself left the inscription. But whatever sort of doom could the prophecy be referring to? I fear it is all rather cryptic. Lalai, and Brilliant as well. I would speak to you both at once. Oh, right, this guy. I forgot about him. The cop who was trying to arrest us the whole time in the Heavensward quest line. Ahem. Well, I would like nothing more than to catch up on old times. I come bearing grave tidings, my friends. Pray lend me your aid. Do we have to? Well, if it isn't our favorite gobble-headed hearer. I would have thought the seventh hell would freeze over before you cast your lot with the purveyors of destruction. What have we done to deserve the honor of your groveling? This is no time for jest, Lalai. This situation is most dire. Why, a veritable horde of Christ golems has burst forth from the Lost Wood, and is wreaking havoc on the Twelveswood as we speak. Audible gasp. Whatever foul sorcery led them to abandon their orders and run rampant, we cannot say. But one thing is certain: if we cannot deal with them, and do so swiftly, there is no telling what damage they might inflict upon our forest home. That does sound like a cause for concern. Very well. I suppose it would not kill us to put the matter of Shitoto aside for a moment and... Wait, no, not now. I say, how could that girl think straight with this ungodly fool's cap weighing her down? Or perhaps she can't, and that is why. But of course, it all makes perfect sense. Oh, hello there. Did you miss me and my prodigious intellect? Of course you did. Now look, we haven't much time, so try to keep pace. This surge of ether. Just who or what are you? Yes, I'm sure there's so much you'd like to know, but where would that get us? I've already said all I need to know. I've already heard all I need to know through the girl's ears. You're needed in South Shroud, yes? Rampaging golems, was it? Indeed. I have tasked a whaler named Alphine with looking into the matter. With any luck, he has gleaned some knowledge which might avail us in plotting a suitable course of action. Alphine, South Shroud, yes. I believe the great Shitoto has all she needs. Well, come now. No point in standing around like gawping globules when there's work to be done, right? Right? Shitoto? Brilliant. I am most grateful for your aid. Do not get me wrong, but if there's anything you and Lalai have been keeping from me, mark my words, I will hear it in full when our task is done. Sure, dude, sure. You think I'm gonna tell you stuff? I'm not gonna incriminate myself. I mean, what? Nothing is wrong here. Alright, let's head on over to South Shroud and take care of some golems. You know, everybody likes a bit of golems gone wild, right? Go ahead to South Central Thadalin. I'll just teleport to South Shroud. Oh, okay, it's gonna be at the Amdapor. Or, Lost City of Amdapor. Not Amdapor Keep. Let's fly over east. Take care of this. The sheer etheric energy I feel exuding from the girl is nothing short of astounding. Could it be that the cap reinforcing... Could it be that the cap reining in her true power all... Could it be that cap was reining in her true power all this time? It's all in the hat, man. The bigger the hat, the stronger you are. That's the motto of the Black Mage. Ah, it is so much easier to think without that excess bulk weighing on my brain. For the life of me, I'll never understand people's obsession with extravagant headgear. Yeah, that's why I play Vieira. Anyway, let's talk to Delphine. Welcome, friends. You come seeking news of the golems, yes? Would that I had any to give. I fear not a single one of the creatures has manifested itself before mine eyes. Huh? Or didn't this guy say they were rampaging? So you say, my good man, but it is possible that you do not see the trees for the forest. Sometimes that which we seek is right before us, and we need only attune our vision. Why, is it just me, or do I spy a number of curious stone creatures peeking out from the brush? Yes, I have an inkling that our foe may be hiding in plain sight. But just how is one to distinguish living stone from more ordinary type? Why, I do believe the former would take far less kindly to being scorched with a burst of hell's fire. So, the plan is clear, yes? Let's get blasting. So anyway, I started blasting. Well, let's get blasting. Where are we headed now? Oh, down the south? Let's go. No, there's a A rank there. Oh, boy, how do you not notice this, dude? A curious structure of stone hands stands motionless before you. Oh, duh, blow it up. Oh, let's start with ice. Oh, I gotta cast fire 3, okay. Gonna mess up my combo. Nope, no it's not. Just gonna make me lose some MP. I was about to say, that guy was really weak, then I remember that I'm literally like 20 levels higher than him. I haven't actually used Polyglot at all, I just saw this light up so I hit it. Anyway, we got one more golem over here. One more. Okay, that's all. Let's head on back. Is that all we needed to do to take care of the golems? That seems like a little bit less than rampaging destruction. Right, Chitoto? Is our friend quite well? I only saw her from afar, but it was as if the girl took some perverse pleasure in causing much destruction as she could muster. That's your typical Lala, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. It was fun, wasn't it? Now, while I'm not wont to repeat myself, it seems I should make an exception for the slower members of our band. You have the privilege of standing before the Archmage Shitoto, or rather, a memory of the same, which has awakened after years of slumber to rescue your realm from a fate most dire. Slower, ahem, Lady Shitoto, if that is what you truly who you are. I cannot deny your arcane prowess, and yet there is much about this that does not sit well with me. Pray explain yourself. What is it, this dire fate which you speak? Oh dear, you really aren't very smart. Very well, I shall begin from the very, beginning. Dear me, did I almost rhyme? Who does that anyway? Anyhow, the tale begins some 2 millennia ago, when the great civilization of Mach was still in its infancy. Our scholars ascertained that a mighty comet, awash with unspeakable ethereal energy, was on a course to strike our fair home and reduce it to so much rubble. And so I thought to rectify the situation the only way I knew how, by blasting the foul rock out of the sky with the most powerful destructive magic our realm had ever seen. Yeah, that sounds about right. This, more than anything, was what spurred me to develop the art of black magic as it is known today. Needless to say, my plan was a remarkable success. A massive chunk of the comet was shattered, knocking it clear off its path and sending it spinning harmlessly off into the heavens. The story, however, does not end there. Fragments of the meteor hurled and embedded themselves in the earth. While small enough that their impact caused no significant damage, they remained beneath the surface, brimming with etheric energies, just waiting to be unearthed. Needless to say, these otherworldly stones drew the attention of mages far and wide, who sought to claim their powers for their own. They are the stones that gave the golems their souls, by whose power many a city-state flourished. And yet, these stones held yet further secrets. When 2 of them were brought together, they would call out to one another, aether reaching to aether to augment their mutual powers to still greater heights. Mind you, the power of mere fragments, even in a heightened state, would be far too meager to be cause for concern. One threat, however, still lingered. What if the comet, the mother stone as it were to return? Its circuitous orbit, bringing it in shouting distance of our world once more? Would not this remnants, its children, summon it hither in all its destructive glory? Preposterous! Did your vaunted black magics not knock the comet clear across the skies? Why, it is simply inconceivable that its new path would bring it round back in our direction. Inconceivable to feebler minds, mayhap, but not my own. In fact, I posit that the comet is drawing nearer every moment, and it is for this very reason that the golems are now running amok. If left unattended, the implications for this world would be calamitous indeed. Oh, I happen to have a lot of experience with that. Fortunately, you have an ally in the impending battle, a prodigy who foresaw the danger that was to come, and sent her memory into the future that she might return to save the day. I didn't send my mind to the future. Oh, you're talking about yourself, okay. Did you mean to say that you predicted that this threat would come? Over 2,000 years ago? Mind you, I devised an incantation for the sole purpose of allowing you to return to us in our time of need. I do believe I already said precisely that. Of course, I do not do it entirely on my own. The spell would have been lost to history if a crazy old Kukuraka hadn't dug it up when he did and recorded it for posterity. Dear little Lala and Brillian also played their part. Dear little Lala and Brillian also played their parts as well. Oh, how wonderful it is when one's followers, against their natural tendencies perhaps, manage not to make an utter mess of things. I must admit, the whole story still strikes me as a bit far-fetched. I mistrust neither your motives nor your skill. Letitia Toto, but as a hearer charged with the protection of this wood. I cannot leave this matter to you alone. Do we have to? Well, please do. That would make things a lot better. I will accompany you and offer what aid I can. But first, let us return to Ul'dah. I would hear more of the plan you propose before we take action. Must you? Very well. I just promise you'll not get in our way. Now, come along, my puppets. I have a realm to save, and you're going to help me. Okay, let's head back to Ul'dah then. Unfortunately, we got stupid Catboy here, who's gonna end up messing things up. But we got Shitoto and her great intellect. Let's see, go to Lala, she's in the other section. Or Shitoto. Wrong way. Let me switch these. Because I usually have X being sort of my healing / survivability. And then I have Z as some sort of buff. Alright, let's go and talk to the stupid Catboy and then talk to Shitoto. It does not appear the sorceress means us ill, but I still do not feel entirely safe in her presence. And whatever has she done with Lalai? Well, she took off her hat for one. Clearly it was slowing down her intellect. The hearer assures me that there have been no golem uprisings elsewhere, and since he clearly is too thick to tell a convincing lie, I am inclined to believe him. This means that we still have time to form a plan of attack. Ahem, I do pride myself on my honesty, we know. And so I will be honest with you when I say this. Your art is, to put it kindly, not looked fondly upon in our day and age, and your story stretches the limits of believability. We cannot stave off this calamity alone, but any entreaties you might make are not likely to find a receptive audience. I, on the other hand, have friends in positions of some prominence. I shall reach out to them and see what aid they are willing to offer. How charming! He actually thinks he might prove himself useful. In your spare time, might you not ask your astrologian friends if they have any recent calculations on the comet's path? I have no reason to doubt the accuracy of my own, of course, but I was working off 2 millennia old data. As you wish. Forgive me for being forward, but might I inquire as to the well-being of our mutual friend Lalai? She is still in there somewhere, yes? Oh, she most certainly is. Worry not. The girl's consciousness is just enjoying a short respite. Which reminds me, I really am due for a nap myself. Be a dear and do not try not to let things go to hells in my absence, will you? That's gonna be a bit of a stretch, but we'll try. Toto, mother of the art that brought the great floods upon us. Has she truly returned to deliver us from doom? Well, it seems like it so far, but I suspect the last quest is going to be us fighting her, so we'll get to that later. The progenitor of our esteemed art has chosen me as her vessel in hopes of saving our world from a falling star. I can scarce imagine a greater honor. Come, Berlian, we must put our minds together and figure out how we might best do her bidding. Wait, Lalai, if we have her words at face value, Shitoto was only the realm's best interest in heart. And yet, I, for one, remain skeptical. Of course you would. Which is not to say I doubt her intentions of yours, for that matter. And yet, we speak of the founder of the very art which gave rise to the War of the Magi and the Sixth Umbral Calamity. Could it not be that even in seeking to save our realm, she is likely as not to destroy it? I kind of see your point, but I also wanted to tell you to shut up and go away. Blasphemy! Why, Lady Shitoto had long since passed when the war broke out. Only a blind, blustering half-wit would even think to hold her responsible for... Though, when you put it that way... I understand this. And that is why I begrudge neither you nor her my aid. Neither you nor her my aid, okay. Such as it will serve to protect the realm's peace. At the same time, I intend to keep close watch on her. One can never be too wary after all. In any event, I will gather the knowledge I can of the threat we face, and I would be most grateful if you could do the same. But I suggest speaking to your Beastman allies, if the idea has not already occurred to you, that is. Well, considering how little her brain is able to function with that hat on, I'd say it probably hasn't. I swear, that man's head is made of harder stone than any golem. Well, I mean, your head doesn't exactly have much blood flow to it, but okay. Still, at least he is cooperating with us, which is progress of some sort. In any event, I will reach out to our Beastman friends. I encourage you to return to your studies in the meantime. If one thing is clear, it is that the task ahead will test us to our very limits. Or maybe we can just cast Fire 4 a couple times and we win. Now, was Golem's Gone Wild? Still that name. Let's see, so that was the first 2 quests. Yeah, so we got 3 more to go. Let's go ahead and do this next one, and then it'll probably be time for a break. Well, let's go ahead and get started with the next one. When the goal... Oh my, these titles are getting worse every time. When the golems get tough, Lala has gleaned new knowledge that may serve you well. Ah, brilliant. I trust you have not been shirking on your studies. Well, I'm level 86, so not really. Mistress Shitoto expects much of us, and I would not disappoint her. For my own part, I've called out to her internally time and again, within my mind, in hopes of conveying any and all knowledge that might avail in the staving off this impending disaster. Though she does not respond, I have the direct sensation that she is listening, in some way or another. Doubtless she will return when she sees fit, but in the meantime, we can ill afford to bide our time. And so, I've taken Zari Nila's advice. I can just see the smug grin on his face when I say that, and reach out to our friends. Not moments ago, a post-Moogle came by with a missive from our friend Daza of the 269th Order. Nice. As luck would have it, it seems he has knowledge that might serve us well. To wit, reports of recent sightings of rampaging golems. Well, that's, like, good and not good, considering that means that the problem is getting worse. It also means that we might have the correct problem. I would ask that you go ahead and see what he knows. I will call for that holier-than-thou cure and join you shortly. Not that I am enamored with his company, far from it, but his insights have proven to be not altogether useless on occasion. Oh, let's head on over to Revenant's Toll. That says, yeah, it's Revenant's Toll. And talk to Daza, see if he can give us some insight into the golems. I'll teleport out to Central Thandlin and then teleport to Mortona. Alright, where are we going? Right over here? Just outside. Oh, in the corner, okay. Oh, right. Because he's got to stay away from humans and stuff. I remember these guys have, like, super British, posh British accents. Brilliant! It has been eons, eras, ages, eons. I've heard the spirit of the legendary Shitoto comes alive again inside Lolai. But could this wondrous tale possibly be true? It is indeed, friend Daza. She is a capricious type, though, and wakes only when she has a mind to. A fact that I have explained some 700 times to this mutton-headed hearer, who still insists beyond all reasons that I should be able to summon her at will. You do me discredit, Lalai. I merely suggested that if there were some means by which we could summon Shitoto at our own convenience, rather than waiting for her to come forth of her own accord, it might serve us in facing the dangers ahead. This is not the kind of person that you're going to be able to do that with. Summon her! You speak of the illustrious founder of my art as if she were a mere serving girl. You will watch your tongue in the presence of your betters, catboy, lest... of course she comes out right now. I mean no disrespect. I do not deny the power of your art, nor the good it can do in the right hands. I am simply... too stubborn and stupid to finally accept it? Oh well, I should suppose none of us are perfect. Myself excluded, of course. She's such a jerk! Self-centered, selfish jerk. With an ego, like, the size of 3 Lalavels. 269th Order, Medicint Daza, I presume. Tell me all you have seen or heard of this rampaging golem. Ah, my ears are to believed. Trusted sworn by believed. Is this truly the great Shitoto, who stands before my eyes? Yes, it must indeed. I mean, but of course, my lady. Yes, Daza will tell you all he knows. I saw a strange golem, odd, curious, strange, wandering in the tangle. And that is not all. I was no ordinary golem, no, but rather the same one I saw in a tome handed down from my forebears, Dagu. A golem of ancient Mach. One of my own creations? Why, that is simply inconceivable. I designed them to be utterly rampage-proof, and with copious instructions to ensure that my loyal apprentices and their apprentices, and so on and so forth, would see that they stay that way. Mayhap your followers were not so diligent in carrying out the orders after your passing? We all know of the chaos and destruction wreaked by Makai sorcerers during the War of the Magi. I suspect that poring over age-old documents in the upkeep of golems was the least of their concerns. Forgive me my doubts, Lady Shitoto, but you have seemed quite partial to your creations and your countrymen. If we were to find ourselves locked in combat with a golem of Mach, do I have your assurance that you would not hesitate to strike down your foe? I think her love for destruction trumps literally everything. If she can blow something up, she's gonna pick that option. Like a true black mage. You do not trust me. Trust us? This I know. And I am not deaf to Lalai's sizzling grumbles. So be it. You cannot help being a simpleton, no more than I can help being the greatest intellect of my era. Shitoto, please. That old Kukuraka told me what became of the Makai after my passing when he communed with me a century ago. Do you think I deny the senseless destruction caused by my descendants? The art I myself wrought, no less? Of course not, for I, unlike some of my present companions, am not a bloody fool. But even a fool must understand that a tool is only as good or evil as the one who wields it. So answer me this. What could I possibly stand to gain from standing idly by as my own creation wreaks havoc on the realm I once called home? I will grant that there is some sense in what you say. In any event, we thank you for your assistance, Daza. Rest assured, we shall see the rogue golem before any harm befalls you and yours. To the Tangle. Why is this abhorrent, idiotic fool walking that direction when it is to the left? Dost thou overdwell? Oh wait, it's British accent. Dost thou, overdweller, never lighten up? I mustn't be so tiring, living each day carrying around a brain of solid stone. Wearsome tiring. Literally, everyone's like, why does this guy have such a hard head? You can say that again, my synonym-abusing friend. Brilliant. You know the man better than I. And for that, I pity you. I agree. Is there nothing we can do to buy ourselves a moment's respite from his inane quibbling? Whatever do you suppose is bothering his puny mind? He's simply in awe of your power. Mayhap he worries for Lalai. Well, that's actually an interesting insight. Yes, I've observed this as well. Smaller minds are quick to burden themselves with hand-wringing concerns for the well-being of others, as if it were not evident that the girl is more than capable of taking care of herself. In either event, if he insists on tagging along with us, I suppose it would not hurt to win him over. If only so he does not foul things up in the worst possible time. True. Anyhow, I do believe we have some golems to smite into oblivion. The Tangle, wasn't it? I'll see you there, and try not to get lost on the way. I'm surprised you didn't say that to the other guy. Stupid cat boy. Right, let's head on over to the Tangle and blow some more things up. Yeah, this is the Tangle, that's right. Okay, dumb cat boy. This shit Toto is full of mysteries, but it wouldn't baffles me most. Just what is it about Lalai's cap that she finds so disagreeable? Was there no custom of wearing headgear in her age? Well, not a stupid big hat like that. These lands were far more dry and agreeable in my day. But I suppose much can change in 2 millennia, especially about me around keeping things in order. But this is no time to get caught up in nostalgia. We have golems to smash and search for, not necessarily in that order, I suppose. Yes, I can sense particularly strong etheric energy coming from this direction. Okay, I'll make sure to head the other way. I will accompany Shitoto to ensure that she remains focused on the task at hand. But you survey the area south of here. These environs afford our foe no end of hiding spots, and I'm ill-inclined to walk into an ambush. Okay. Let's go check this out and kill whatever we need to kill. This is probably going to be an enemy we need to kill. Where is... Survey the area for a suitable vantage point. Okay, oh, right there, of course, it's the big destination marker. You look far and wide, but can discern no sign of golems, rampaging or otherwise. Return to the southwestern reaches of the Tangle and see how Shitoto and stupid Catboy fare in their search. Okay, not good to me. Ah, there's the purple. Also, that's not exactly what I'd call a golem, but okay. So anyway, I started blasting. I was supposed to use a wrong button. Ugh. If only this body were my own, I would have razed that oversized block of stone to the ground. I suppose I should thank you for coming to my aid. Had I lost consciousness in the midst of battle, I would certainly have been done for, and poor Lalai with me. No, Lady Shikoto, it is I who owe you a debt of gratitude. Had you not drawn the creature's initial strike, I would surely have met an inglorious end. But that is not the least of my failings. It is my fault, and my alone, that we were caught unawares. Though it shames me to say so, my eyes were on you, when they should have been watching over for our enemy. Excuse me, were you making eyes at a Lala, sir? That's a bit sus. Who in this is this sorcerer who wields such frightening power? Does she truly mean to save our realm, or will she destroy it? These thoughts continue to haunt me, but no more. Seeing you risk your life for me, a humble hearer you have only just met, I say this has no reservation. I say this with no reservations. You are a paragon of virtue and a model to all mages, white or black. Sure, bro, sure. Why, I do believe those are the most intelligent words I've heard you utter yet. Keep talking like that, and I might yet learn to tolerate your presence. But if you think this means I'm going to give you a precious Lalai back, you'd best think again. We still have a falling star to fend off, do we not? My precious Lalai, I had not the slightest idea what you might be implying. His head's just too hard, Chodoto. Just don't bother. You wouldn't, would you? Chodoto. You wouldn't, would you? Ahem. Was it not your grand dream to see the white and the black, the arts of healing and destruction united for a common good? So says Lalai, at the very least. Is the girl not an invaluable piece to the future you would realize? This is all well and true, but invaluable and precious are different connotations. Mayhap not in your time, but perhaps the words evolve over time, and you see, and... What I'm trying to say, of course, Lalai is a friend and ally, but the same could be said of Brilliant here, and which is not to say I do not want to see her again, of course, but only that... Oh, never mind. At any rate, I do believe we've done all we can here. Lady Shitoto, please forgive me for having doubted you. Henceforth, I promise I will aid you in whatever way I can. And with that, I do believe we must be off, somewhere. Right. He's just too dense. You go the wrong way. One last thing. If I may, Lady Shitoto, while you were awake and speaking with us, what becomes of Lalai's consciousness? That is to say, is she still in there listening? What a curious question. She is slumbering in the recesses of her mind, much as I am when she is awake. But the answer to your question is, no, she's not listening, though we do have some rather stimulating conversations from time to time. If you'd like, I can share the details of my... No, I mean, never mind. I really must be getting off to, right, that place I was going. Sure, dude, sure. Are all men of this era so odd? I mean, I can't say. At any rate, I feel my consciousness begin to wane. Lalai will be waking from her slumber ere long, and I would return to Ul'dah before she does. I suggest you do the same. Your friend has much she wishes to discuss with you. No, I'm not going to discuss date plans with stupid dense catboy. Anyway, let's head back to Ul'dah and wrap this quest up. Then I think we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll go ahead and do the last 2 quests. And then we'll also go ahead and probably do the Shadowbringers quest as well. Right? That was... Yeah, when the golems get tough. Okay, this is... Yeah, that'll work. This direction. Oh, Lolly back already? Or is this Shitoto? Welcome back, Brilliant. As you might have surmised, I... Oh, right, because she's wearing the hat again. That's actually clever design, character design, to make it a lot easier for you to tell which one is which besides just looking at the eye color. Welcome back, Brilliant. As you might have assumed, it is I, Lolly. Mr. Shitoto returned to her repose not moments ago. Before drifting off to slumber, she imparted to me some details regarding what she sees as the next phase of our task. To wit, she would have us venture further afield to investigate any golem menaces that might be stirring out of earshot. Speaking of menaces, whatever became of that stone? That's better. Lunch is, deciding to make a reappearance. Speaking of menaces, whatever became of that stone-headed hearer? I suppose it is too much to hope that Mr. Shitoto finally set his robes alight. He has come to respect Lady Shitoto. He has feelings. Now, let's not do that. I dare say it took him long enough. Still, we cannot hold this man's ignorance against him. Not all of us are blessed with burgeoning intellects. Lala, your hat is restricting your blood flow to your head. Anyhow, I trust you will keep me informed if our hero friend exhibits any more impertinent behavior. I would think of a suitable retribution. I dare say putting him to sleep and hiding his glasses would send a clear message and be rather amusing no less. Oh yeah, I can imagine. In any event, I should return to my research, as should you. Shitoto will doubtless call upon us before long, and our power must be primed for the occasion. Again, not lie, I'm level 86. I'm fine. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break. And when we get back, we'll go ahead and do the last 2 quests, and probably quickly do the Shadowbringers quest. But right now, it's time for a break. Time to get up, stretch your legs, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to, and I'll be right back. Alright. Get back to it. Talk to Lolai and continue the next quest. Saw the name of the next quest. It's not quite as bad. Unnatural selection. Lolai would seek your aid in doing Shitoto's bidding. Brilliant. The moment you entered the room, I could feel this is not a room, but okay. The moment you entered the room, I could feel the air crackling with etheric energy. Excellent. Your diligence and training will surely serve us well. And you've come at a perfect time. Not moments before you arrived, Shoto's voice called out to me from the recesses of my consciousness. She would have us begin to lay the groundwork for the final stage of our plan. As she made it quite clear that we will require all the aid you can muster, I've taken the liberty of reaching out to our beastmen friends. They have convened at Kazaka's residence at Burgundy Falls, where they await our arrival. Let us not keep them waiting. You know, when I was editing those Black Mage, the AR Black Mage quests, and every single time I was pronouncing his name wrong, and I'm like, oh man, I thought there was a C there the entire time. Anyway, let's head on over to Eastern Thandolin and go to Burgundy Falls. We haven't been there in a while. Just go ahead and teleport over to Drybone and then fly on over there. Wonder if it's slightly faster to teleport to South Shroud. Maybe not. Alright, let's fly off to the east. To Burgundy Falls in this great weather. Alright, let's talk to everyone and figure out what we're going to be doing for this plan. Squawk! Great honor, tremendous honor, trembling with excitement and awe Dazol is. To not merely foresee a falling star some 2,000 years hence, but project one's own memory into the future to forestall it. Truly, the powers of Mr. Shitoto are beyond the comprehension of our ordinary minds. I know, right? Was Dazal the first beastman to speak with Lady Shitoto? Yes, surely he was. Dazal is Shitoto's favorite. Her chosen, her prized one, her favorite. Sure, Dazal, sure. I am not privy to the finer points of Lady Shitoto's plan, but I am prepared to assist in any way I can. My friends, thank you for coming on such short notice. Mr. Shitoto would have you know that she is most grateful in your cooperation. In fact, I do believe she would rather to speak to you, directly. Well, it would seem the gang's all here. I dare say it's time we got this proverbial show on the road. Here, tell me that you've made yourself useful since I last saw your vapid face. Aye, Lady Shitoto. According to my colleagues of the Agorsian Alliance, patrols have been sighted in increasing numbers of rampant golems afield. Fortunately, none have posed a significant threat, at least not as yet. Which brings us to the matter of the comet. A colleague of mine at the observatorium has confirmed that it draws nearer with each passing hour. Though there is no immediate danger of collision, it says on its present course. It is too close for comfort, yes. Fortunately, I, as is wont, have a plan. I simply hope that you, my friends, are up to the task. Sure. I mean, if it gets me the level 70 spell, sure. If the hero speaks true, the golems have been causing trouble near the city-states, have been more bark than bite, filled with no great difficulty by middling soldiers. From this, I surmise the gems set within them, their soulstones, have been small and of meager power at best. And yet my theory holds a more sinister threat lurks in the realm's far reaches, far from the prodding eyes of Eorzean and beastmen alike. This is where we must go. Ah, yes, finally going to Stormblood zones. Squawk! Perplexed Dozol is. Profoundly and deeply perplexed. By people, to do the work of people and golems created. To travel so far from their master's domain, these constructs have no reason. True, is this not? Well, Albie, a passably astute observation, but I fear your knowledge is lacking, my squawking friend. Golems come in all shapes and forms. Not all are wrought by the hands of a mortal creator. Often a gem of sufficient etheric power will attract all manner of matter, plant, mineral, and animal alike, spontaneously animating it and giving rise to new life. With naught to guide them, these feral golems rove and wander at will. It is these unpredictable specimens that pose the greatest danger. The larger the gem that serves as their soulstone, the greater their power, and the greater the threat when the comet draws nigh. It would appear our task is clear. Let us split up and hunt down these abominations. I shall join our beastman friends and make for the west. I will leave the eastern reaches to the two of you. I trust you will be able to fend for yourselves. There is one matter in particular I would ask you to investigate. My friends at the Alliance conveyed to me a most curious report, which Lady Shitoto's words just now put in a rather different light. Over in Yerebanya, in the hamlet of Alagana, villagers have claimed sightings of, in their words, trees that walk like men. These have gone entirely uninvestigated, written off as the delusions and fantasies of superstitious common folk. But if Lady Shitoto speaks true, which I do, they are golems beyond the slimmest shadow of a doubt. Were it not for Brilliant and I will uproot them and reduce every last leaf and strip of bark to smoldering ash. Won't we, Brilliant? I will leave the particulars regarding the means of destruction to the experts. I have, however, procured a link pearl that we might better coordinate our efforts. Pray take it with you. I wish to know how my precious Lalai is doing. And with that, I do believe we are prepared as we could hope to be. Let us be off, my friends. And remember, should aught go amiss, I am but a link pearl call away. A device to allow that pretentious puddinghead to talk to me even if I'm 100 miles away. Far be it from me to scoff at technological progress, but some inventions really could have been done without. Understandable. Alright. Oh, I thought we were going to go to the Far East, not just the East. Oh well, let's teleport over to Alagana. So apparently the trees are talking. Well, that's not good. It's never good. Unless it's about second breakfast, then we're good. How interesting. While Mach has developed into a vermin-infested bog, Kiribanya is, if anything, looking more lively than I remember it. Not that that's saying much, of course. But look at me, getting all nostalgic for no reason. After all, my body has long since returned to the dust, and soon even my memory will fade. But before that, we have a job to do, don't we? I can sense no unusual etheric presence here, so let us venture a bit further into the field. Come along now, Beryllian. Oh, like she said, let's head further into the field, see if we can find those talking trees that they were talking about. Talking trees that they were talking about. The talking trees. Nope, there's a purple spot. Looks like we're gonna fight one. Yeah, I'd say we got a talking tree on our hands. Hello, boys. No, you didn't want to be alive anymore, did you? Oh, let's see how Shitoto's doing. I'm sure she's fine, though. Oh, looks like she took out her own group. Did you come upon any wood golems, Beryllian? As you can see, these two had the misfortune of coming upon little old me. But that is not all I saw. Yes, it was most remarkable and most horrifying sight. After I delivered the mortal wound to one of the creatures, I saw it extend a gnarled limb and, with the last ounce of its strength, try to rip the soulstone from its cohort's chest. What? Okay. Yes, it would seem these feral golems have no qualms about cannibalizing each other. Which has led me to quite a frightening conclusion, to wit. Oh, of all the... Whatever could that four-eyed fool want at a time like this? Yes, if there's something to report, make it quick. What? Yes, it would be wise for you to make a discreet retreat. We'll do the same. I would reevaluate our options in light of these most troubling developments. Very well. I will join you at the observatorium shortly to gather all the information you can from your colleagues before I arrive. Gods be good. That hero has actually proven himself useful. It would seem he came upon a most startling scene in the hinterlands. A mass influx of golems of all shapes and sizes, as if summoned from all reaches of the realm by some unholy force. I have my own theory as to what this means, but I require more knowledge before plotting our next step. One thing I can say, that we should immediately begin preparing for the worst. In any event, we must move quickly. You return to Burgundy Falls and apprise the beastmen of where we stand. I shall go on ahead to the observatorium and see what knowledge the astrologians have gleaned, and join you as soon as I am able. Okay, let's head back to Burgundy Falls. And is that gonna be the end of this quest, or do we have a little bit more to go? Probably, hopefully a little bit more. That was a little bit quick. Again, such lovely weather today. So it seems that there's a bunch of golems around. Let's see what force is actually driving them, or is it actually the comet that's causing this? I mean, I still don't quite trust Shitoto, but at the same time, she seems to be... Everything seems to be going the way that she expected. Squawk! So many golems, Dozol has never seen. In a flutter are Dozol's feathers. Squawk, squawk! Perhaps the golems are having a feast, a banquet, a revel, a feast. Though feasting on what? I would require rather not speculate. No, not thinking. Friends, comrades, brothers and sisters of the Black, we stand at the brink of a disaster most dire. Even as we speak, our foe grows in number. Beings of sentient stone and wood gather, summoned by an unknown force, and united in a common purpose, a purpose beyond our understanding. Beyond your understanding, perhaps, but not mine. The golems make for Somal, the dragon place. In Girabanya, I witnessed an most unsettling sight. A golem with an almost animal fury, tearing into its cohort's chest. Disturbing as it was all too clear what I was witnessing. The creature sought a stronger soulstone, and that it might augment its strength and prolong its own existence. But the power these creatures seek is not limited to that which they can harvest from their own kind. No, they are forever in search of a more potent etheric source, and they have finally found one. The astrologians at the observatorium have confirmed my worst fears. The baleful star of our past slowly but inexorably changes course, bringing it closer and closer to this star. It is as Lady Shitoto says. The golems call out to it, beckoning it ever closer. According to the latest calculations, any further adjustment to its path, and it is all but certain to strike Eorzea head-on. Well, that's not good. The baleful creatures would climb the highest peak in the land and summon their motherstone to bring disaster to our realm? Inconceivable. And yet it is just so, my friend. Oh, wrong one. And yet it is just so, my friend. Unless we destroy the lot of them, a collision is all but inevitable. And yet there are simply too many. Even if we could thin their ranks, they would regrow themselves and regroup in no time. Are you sure we're not going to just invent Fire 5 and blow them all up? So we are done for. Doomed, defeated, done for. Do not give up hope, my frantic friend. Or do you forget that the most brilliant mind to ever walk the face of Eorzea stands with you? Yeah, I mean, I know I'm here. Allow me to propose a foolproof plan. We do absolutely nothing at all. What? That's not what I was expecting. For now, that is. We know that the golems are feeding on each other in a pursuit of greater and greater power, so why not sit back and let this process of unnatural selection take its course, till we are left with but a single foe. That's not a bad idea, except that one single foe is going to be really strong. Squawk! Out of her mind, Shitoto is. Were that to happen, a creature of untold power and puissance, that golem would be. Quite so. It would be the mother of all automata, the golem equivalent to yours truly, if you will, and by definition, one of the most formidable foes our realm has seen. Fortunately, I do believe there is one among us who might stand half a chance against such a monstrosity. If you don't say me and you say you, I'm going to be very, very annoyed with you, Mr. Shitoto. Brilliant! Lady Shitoto insists that you hold nay. You are the key to this entire operation. Well, of course it is. I'm the main character. I am not inclined to doubt her, but I would hear it from her own lips. Could you say all certainty that you would emerge victorious over this hypothetical golem of mystical proportions? I mean, yeah. Thank you, my friend. Your courage inspires me. Pray let me offer my strength, that together we may secure the future of our realm. I'd prefer if you didn't. It'd probably make things a little bit easier. I doubt Brilliant and I will have much need of your services, but feel free to tag along. It would be my honor. And with that, I should take my leave. I must warn the people of the nearby settlements to keep a wide berth of the Great Peak. Mayhap I will even have the occasion to smash a golem or two in my journey. I highly doubt that. Color me impressed, Brilliant. Your friends are proving more reliable by the minute. And with that, I shall return to the Sacrium, where my grip on consciousness grows more tenuous by the moment. Pray return to the waking set. Pray return when you can, and speak with Lolai upon her awakening. As she puts her blood-restricting hat back on that prevents her from thinking straight. Squawk! A crazy plan Shitoto devises, but just enough to work. It may be. We'll blast through the golem into dust. Ashes, powder, dust. Yes, we will. But just between the two of us, I wonder, just how big do you think it will be? Oh, trust me, I fought some pretty big foes in my day. You are our only hope. A shining light against the baleful star that bears down upon us. Ever am I honored to call you a friend. Yeah, sure. You're gonna give me any, like, reward for this? Oh, anyway, let's head back to Ul'dah, talk to Lolai, and then we'll pick up the last quest. Alright, Lolai. You put your hat back on, that's how we know you're Lolai and not Shitoto. Ah, brilliant. I have called out to Shitoto, but to no avail. No doubt she is deep in slumber, gathering her strength for the battle to come. She did, however, leave a message for you. Slack not in your training, my puppet of destruction, for your power will be tested as never before. Oh, I kinda doubt that. That is not ominous in the least, now is it? In any event, I trust you will be up to the task. Oh, of course I will. Alright, this should be the last quest, and it should get us Foul. Yep, there's Foul. And Enhanced Enokia grants effective polyglot upon maintaining Enochian for... Oh, okay. I was wondering how you would generate polyglot besides using Amplifier. Because it didn't look like there was any other thing that gave you polyglot. Okay, so this costs polyglot, but it does... It's AoE. And this is single target. Okay, that's how that works. So let me actually move those around. So this is generator, and I want to, and it's a 2-minute cooldown. And this is the AoE, and this is the single target. Okay, so I need to figure out where the heck to put those. I don't really like having this on R. I usually put it on E, don't I? I like to put that on Control E, but I also want to use this a lot more often, so I guess I'll go ahead and do this, and then I gotta move one of those somewhere. This is a 2-minute cooldown. I should probably just leave it up there, but... I'll figure it out later. Let's go ahead and talk to Lolai, and pick up the last quest. One golem to rule them all. Lolai is steeling herself for the final confrontation. Brilliant. I trust you have prepared yourself well. Our foe musters in Annex Shrine. The hour of our final confrontation is nigh. The hero and our beastmen friends are en route to the Forelands as we speak, and I would join them with all haste. Come as soon as you are able. Shitoto will be awaiting your arrival. Alright. Let's head on over to Annex Shrine. I think that should be Dravanian Hinterlands, right? No, Hinterlands is where... It's Forelands, because Hinterlands are... I'm blanking on the name. The Charlian place. Idleshire. Okay, so we can go ahead and... I'll probably just... Yeah, I'll just teleport from here. And we'll go to Annex Shrine. Yep, Dravanian Forelands. Alright, looks like everyone got here safely. The golem will not grow too large, will it? I prefer foes more compact like myself. Tiny, puny, compact. To fell the feral golem and cast away the baleful star from the sky. Whatever strength I can summon from within me is yours. Squawk! Not the fear and do Dozzle's limbs shake, but with passion and exhilaration for the battle to come. Great passion, tremendous passion. Sure, Dozzle, sure. Deep in the mountains, the golems feed on each other with brutal savagery, even as we speak. Their thirst for power nigh unquenchable. That's nice. How about you, Shitoto? Why, thank you so much, Lalai. What with my corporal form having long since faded to dust, it is an honor and pleasure to see my legacy carried on by women, men, and beastmen after my own. Oops, was I just speaking aloud? You can stop gawking any time now. Or have you forgotten that we have an army of power-hungry golems bent on destroying our realm to dispose of? Fortunately, I have already formulated the perfect plan of attack. You three will see to the stragglers still attempting to scale the mountain. I trust you can handle that much. The hero Brilliant and myself will scale the summit, where the oversized augmented agglomerate. I usually say amalgamation, not agglomeration. Okay. Augmented agglomeration of golems surely awaits us. If I may be so bold, Lady Shitoto, I would proffer a small amendment to this plan. Som'ol, as you know, is a holy place to all the dragons who call this land home. I am ill-inclined to wage battle without first obtaining their blessing. Oh, don't worry about that. I've got that covered. They'll be fine as long as I'm there. The Elder Seedseer has told me that Brilliant has friend among their kind. Only one? We're probably gonna need to go talk to, what's her name? Up in the tower here. I'm told the Elder Seedseer has told me that Brilliant has a friend among their kind. Mayhap it would be best if she sought the counsel of Vindofnir before we proceed. Yeah, that's her name. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's hardly the worst idea I've heard today. After all, it could hardly hurt to add another powerful ally to our ranks. What are we waiting for then? Lead the way. They say lead the way and then you just walk off. You know, in typical NPC fashion. Okay, let's go fly up to Vidofnir and let her know that we're gonna go up to the mountain. Nope, they're already up here. You know, just walking up to a dragon, nothing big. A master of the dark arts and a confidant of dragons? You never cease to surprise me, friend. Oh, do I have stories to tell you? It's a good thing we have that preemptively clear up any potential misunderstandings. While I'm confident in my ability to eradicate any foe, incinerating an entire dragon would leave an awful mess. Right, Shitoto. Right. An unholy menace doth gather in our midst, threatening to summon doom from the heavens down upon this realm. Such is thy plight. I, too, did sense the presence of an intruder in our sacred home. At first I was content to observe, but the danger hath grown too great. Warrior of warriors, if thou and thine could take up arms against our common foe, thou dost have my blessing. Well, that's a ringing endorsement, if I've ever heard one. Here, send a word to our beastmen friends. We commence the operation at once. Oops, apparently it changed. Oh well. Oh, let's start battle. Talk to the thick-headed catboy here first. A master, yeah, we talked to him already. Alright, let's talk to Shitoto and get ready for battle. Duty calls. Commence the battle for one golem to rule them all? Yes. That doesn't look very threatening to me. A couple fire fours will take him down. Understood. Pray leave the rest to us. Lady Toto, my colleague from the observatorium has confirmed your suspicions. On its current path, the falling star will sail wide of us, if by the slimmest of margins, and yet the path shifts with every second, bringing us slowly but inexorably to the brink of calamity. Call it a hunch, but I do believe this imposing foe might be responsible. Gee, really? Well, I'm glad to see that the obvious hasn't escaped you. At any rate, our task is clear. We need only reduce him to dust before he can summon his dear mother any closer. Well, Brilliant, are you ready to stand alongside the greatest mage to ever live in battle for the very future of the world? Look sharp. This is our time to shine. Okay, sounds good to me. That stupid little flower. I know he's a white mage, but still. Just a bit goofy. Okay, let's do some more. Excuse me, sir. I forgot to use a mana font. I accidentally hit Lucid Dreaming. I should probably just get rid of Lucid Dreaming since it's not very useful on, wrong button. Meant to put up my shield. Oh, I need to get rid of that. And I completely dropped Minokian. I should take that down. Let's do some more fire. Should get one more, then I can do a fire or two. Or fire one. Not fire two. Also, he doesn't have a dot on him. Whatever. Do one more fire four. So I need to get rid of that. That, and then I'll also cast a dot on that. And I'll switch over to fire. Whoops, I looked away. I hate when I do that. You have fire 3. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I should do ice 3. Blizzard 3. Then do fire 3. Oh, hello there, sir. Wait, don't I have foul now? Oh no, foul is oh wait, no, I don't get foul until I get polyglot. Right. Oh, I completely forgot. I need to watch my polyglot, my Enochian a bit better. You gotta remember to renew it, because it doesn't, since Fire 4 doesn't renew Enochian. I forgot about my swift casts. That I have 2 stacks of that. Anyway, we took him down pretty easy. Barely took any damage. I mean, we had the stupid Catboy healing us anyway, so it didn't really matter. I tried to Enochian like 3 times in that. Oh well. Victory is ours. Only pray it does not come too late. Are we gonna see it streak across the sky? That'd be pretty cool. Perhaps if you had some black magic in your repertoire, but it is no matter. I have the utmost faith that Brilliant and my efforts were not in vain. that light! The 12 have mercy! Oh, there it is. That does not seem very far away. I mean, that seems very far away. Whee! Here it comes, and there it goes. And with that, my friends, I do believe we've spared a most crushing fate. Crushing. Stand tall, Brillian. You and I must just save the world. And I suppose I should thank you as well, Hearer, for doing a most remarkable job of not mucking things up. And with that, I believe my work here is done. While I'd love nothing more than to stay and savor our victory a bit longer, all good things must come to an end. Don't look all sad now. With such promising prodigies to carry on my legacy, I can go to rest knowing that I did not mother the art of destruction in vain. You have seen our art wielded in the greatest of good and the worst of evil. Having witnessed firsthand the powers of the sheer strength of your resolve, I gladly leave the future of our art in your hands. Walk the path well, Brillian of the Black. And there goes Shitoto's spirit. Or memory. That millennia from now, when we have long since faded to the dim memory, those who follow in our footsteps may yet wield this prodigious power against any who would bring harm to our fair realm. I put on the stupid hat again. Be proud, Brillian. Having shared a mind with Mr. Shitoto all this time, I can assure you that effusive praise does not come easily to her lips. I can still scarcely believe she did me the honor of choosing my body as a vessel. I mean, it was you or me, and I'm way more powerful than you. Before meeting her in the flesh, in a manner of speaking, I had assumed Death's Handmaiden was little more than a witch obsessed with fire and destruction. I mean, that's not a fair assessment. I mean, that's not an unfair assessment. It would seem my impression may have been an error. Oh no, she still likes to blow things up. She's a black mage. May have been? Does your prudish pig-headed prejudice know no end? As charming as ever, I see. I dare say you could learn a thing or two from your esteemed forebearer on how to treat a gentleman. Oh, sure. Oh, is that so? Brilliant. If you happen to see any gentlemen around these parts, do let me know. I mean, there's one dancing over there. He's doing a very odd dance. Let's just ignore him. At any rate, we are done here. Let us leave this uncultured boor here to reflect a bit on how to treat a lady. Yep. Thick-headed catboy. I was wondering if it was going to take us back to Old Da or not, but looks like we gotta wrap things up here. Our beastmen allies await us at Annex Trine. We must share word of our triumph without delay. I know not if our beastmen friends saw the comet across the sky, but they are doubtless eager to hear tidings of our final battle. Let us go and set their minds at ease. The presence hath lifted. The unholy intruder defiles these sacred grounds no more. Thou hast served us well, child of man. Alright, let's head back to the Beastmen, and then tell them what happened, and then that's gonna wrap this up. Then we'll go ahead and do the last level 80 quests, and then that'll be the end of the stream. But we gotta get there first. I saw the comet sailing through the sky. Earthling shooting is sailing. You are safe, yes? Yes, guess you are. Squawk! Return from battle, Dizzle's friends do. Safe from harm you are. Many golems did come to scale the peak, but they come no more, laid low by our magics. The heavens, too, are calm. I trust your battle with the great beast ended in victory while we're here, aren't we? Just so, my friend. Not to boast, but even Lady Shitoto was impressed with our efforts. Is that not so, Brilliant? Well, maybe mine, but not yours. 3 cheers for Shitoto. 3 cheers for Brilliant. 3 cheers for the art of destruction. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah! Far be it from me to rain on your parade, but let us not forget that the healer in your ranks played at least a small part in your victory. Yeah, sure, bro. Not healing me, that's for sure. Squawk! A happy day this is. Fly home to share the joy with his brothers and sisters, Dozol will. You will visit Dozol again to share magical learnings, yes? Till then, friend. I, too, must take my leave, but know that even when we are apart, we always stand as one. Till next time we meet, my friend. I too must return to Gridania to deliver my official report. I suppose this is farewell, at least for now. Well, don't let us keep you, though, I was wondering if I might express my gratitude to your colleagues at the Observatorium, on behalf of Mr. Shitoto, that is. Leave that to me. I fear not all my friends are so open-minded. If they were to learn that I'd allied myself with beastmen and practitioners of dark arts, there's no telling what sort of twisted rumors might spread. Fear not, Lalai. You have my word as a hearer and healer. I will do aught I can to work towards a day when you and your fellows can stand proud and receive credit for all the good you have done. I could not bear to say this in his presence, but our hearer friend has come quite far, wouldn't you say? I, too, would do everything in my power to make the day a reality. And with that, I do believe our job here is done. Shall we return to the Sacrium? Sure. No one's gonna give me a ride? Oh well. Let's go ahead and teleport to Ul'dah and wrap this up. And then, let me double check where the last quest is. Okay, it comes from Lalai, so we'll go ahead and do that too. But to Weaver's Guild, I think it's ever so slightly closer. This direction. Alright, Lalai, let's wrap this up. Welcome back, Brilliant. Once again, I must express my gratitude for all you have done, as well as my profound respect. You have mastered our art to a degree that few of us ever attain. While it is not like me to dwell on such matters, I was just reflecting on the hero's words. Once again, the truth of the battle we waged will never be known to those we fought to save. Needless to say, we do not do what we do for accolades or glory. We do it because it must be done, and to sate our own intellectual curiosity. And yet, it does not sit well with me. No, I cannot just turn a blind eye while the deeds of my friends and mentors are swallowed by history, never again to see the light. When the day will come when that we can emerge from the shadows, I cannot say. But for that day, and for the eyes of all who would follow in our footsteps, I would put all I have seen to paper, just as Master Kukuraka did. All we have learned of our realm and arcane, of course, but that is not all. I would write of the bravery of our beastmen friends, of a stubborn and self-important hero who, against all odds, proved himself a friend. Most of all, I would write of the illustrious founder of our glorious art, and the adventurer who she would potentially entrust with carrying her legacy. Why, I dare say the chapter will write itself. Alright, and that gets us Foul and Enhanced Enochian. Now I can actually, like, get polyglot stacks. That includes the Stormblood questline. Next quest, need to get Shadowbringers and finish Shadowbringers quest, and Tearful Reunion is the magical ranged DPS role quest in Shadowbringers, I believe. Which we've done. If we've done so, we can pick up the next quest from Lalai. Yep, there it is. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let me open up this chest and see how the gear looks. What's that ridiculous hat that I can't wear? It doesn't look too bad, although I'm definitely not going to be wearing it. Yeah, how about this? Yeah, I mean, they all go together, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Anyway, let's go and talk to Lalai and do this last quest. A home for a tome. Lalai is eager to tell of your recent adventures. Oh boy, do I have a lot of tales to tell you. You see, I went to the 13th. Oh wait, this happened before that. Well, you see, I went to the 1st. Welcome back to these halls, Brilliant of the Black. I sense that the dark powers in you are ever burgeoning. Pray tell, where have your travels taken you since we last met? Oh boy, do I have stories to tell you. I traveled to a world flooded with light. I felled a great mage in battle. Let's go with the first one. The second one is talking about, I don't remember his name. I can picture him, I just can't remember his name. He had a generic Elzen name. A journey to another world, you say? Intriguing indeed. Consider me impressed and even a bit envious. How are you able to peer into the past of the Archmage Nilebert, that's his name. Past of the Archmage Nilebert, and form a bond across the ages with his young friend Tainer. Though the circumstances are not entirely the same, I cannot help but think back to my own encounter with the great Shitoto. Speaking of which, I too have been keeping myself occupied. Why, I have recorded every detail we learned on our last adventure in writing, that we might preserve Shitoto's knowledge for posterity, and avert any similar calamity that might threaten future generations. Just the other day, I put the finishing touches on the final chapter of the final volume, concluding with Shitoto's departure. There is, however, one lingering... Well, let me guess, it's Catboy? Oh, yeah, there we go. Well, fancy that. I come upon Lalai here, and who do I find but our old friend Brilliant? Yep. Well, if it isn't everyone's favorite muttonhead here, I need neither your support nor your sympathy. But I suppose you've never been one to let that stop you. Come now, Lalai. You yourself mentioned that you were at a loss for what to do with the records you had scribed, yes? I simply hoped to inquire as to whether you have been able to fruitful developments on that front. So you mean to rub salt in my wounds, yes? There have been no developments, fruitful or otherwise. I consulted with my brothers and sisters of the Order of Nodthal, but to the last man they refused to even entertain the thought. You consulted with... Do you mean to say that you're still a member of the Order? Why, I had always assumed that you had been excommunicated for your pursuits of the dark arts. Excommunicated? Simply for the pursuit of knowledge? Perish the thought. Though, to be fair, there are many holier-than-thou types in the Order who shared this pig-headed hearer's opinion. In receptive of this, the fact remains that the Order sealed away countless tomes in their vaults when they forbid the art of black magic. Storing my own writings with them, I would argue, is the most logical solution. Interesting. But no, they are too prudish and prejudiced against yours truly to listen to reason. Then again, perhaps if a thaumaturge in good standing with the Order were to put in a good word on my behalf. I'm not a thaumaturge, ma'am. I'm a black mage. You may indeed find the more sympathetic ear. What do you say, Brillian? I mean, I guess I can go talk to the Cocoa Brothers. Again. Excellent. Then let us hurry to the ossuary and see if we can't convince the unsufferable stuffy yucky to see good sense. Oh yeah, convincing her is going to be basically impossible. A moment, if you please, Brillian. I wish to ask Lalai out on a date, but I do not know how. A moment, if you please, Brillian. To tell you the truth, the question of where to store her records is not the only matter that concerns me about Lalai of late. Oh, really? Recently, I cannot feel that the etheric power within her is shifting, warping in ways that I have not felt before. Are you sure that's what you're feeling? As for why this is, I cannot yet be sure. Until we discover more, pray look after her, will you? Considering there's only one quest, I'm not really going to be looking after her very much. My apologies, but I believe it best that I remain here until your negotiations are complete. I shudder to think of the consequences if my colleagues are at the Conjurers Guild find out I was conspiring with the likes of you and Lalai. Nothing personal, of course. I mean, it's nothing personal because the white mages are white and the black mages are black. Anyway, let's head to the ossuary. See if we can convince this pig-headed receptionist. I swear, for a veteran of the Order, she has all the sense of a simpering child. Well, I don't deny that. Brilliant! Well, this is an unexpected surprise, and not an entirely pleasant one, though. It is no fault of your own. The unmitigated gall of you, Lalai! Did you honestly believe that dragging poor Brillian here, against her will, no doubt, are you sure it's against your will, or my will, would convince me to agree to housing your shameful scribblings in our archives? I have said once, and I will say it again, until the day you renounce the depraved teachings of Kukuraka, you will find no friends here. I would see those books burn before I give them a home here, for our sake and for your own. I swear, despite that pretentious monocle, you remain as blind as a bat to the big picture. Brilliant of the Black, talk him sense in this overstuffed secretary. Let's see. Should the tomes not be sealed away for safekeeping? Do all in the Order agree with your decision? Ooh, yeah, let's do that. At least one of us here is capable of communicating like an adult. I will grudgingly admit that there is one other who shares Lalai's sentiments. In fact, it is none other than our very guildmaster, Master what was his name again? How do you forget this? Kokobuki. Ha! It does not surprise me in the least. Come, Brillian, let us present our case to someone wise enough to understand it. After all you have done for our guild, I felt you deserved an answer to your query, so I gave you one. And yet, I advise you proceed with caution. Lolai has few allies here, and I would hate to see your pristine reputation sullied by association. I mean, you're the one that's being the idiot. Anyway, let's talk to Kokobuki. It's been quite a while. I gave him this pretentious voice, if I recall correctly. Who cares if everyone else is in this place is an insufferable dunderhead? With the guildmaster himself on our side, the argument is as good as won. And we haven't even talked to him yet. How do you know he's actually on our side? I was wondering who might be behind the screaming and stamping that echoed all the way to this chamber. Sister Lalai, was it? Yes, it is true. I find myself rather convinced by the young lady's argument. It is all but impossible for us to prevent any and all of the studying of the dark arts. Why, then, not keep this dangerous knowledge close at hand, where we can keep an ever-watchful eye on those who would pursue it? And yet, I fear that my own view is not a popular one, and my power to influence others is far from absolute. And so I would offer a proposal. Let us state our case directly to the head of the order, the Prois du Lala herself, that she might pass judgment. Who? You and Lalai shall argue in favor of accepting the tomes, and those opposing shall argue against it. Should all go well, the prioress will agree to the proposal, and the tomes will have a safe home. And yet, the plan is not without risk. Should your argument be less than convincing, there remains a chance Duwala may expressly forbid any further research. Why, if she is in particularly foul mood, your very place in the order may become quite tenuous. Ha! As if there is any chance my word would be anything but persuasive, I accept. Pray summon the prioress at their earliest convenience. You might want to think this through a little bit more, Lalai. Well, that settles it. We'd best hurry and prepare our argument. Out of our enemies' earshot, of course. Come with me, Brilliant. Well, let's talk to Buki first. For whatever it avails you, I shall voice my opinion in favor. No doubt Prelate Yayaki will take her place at the head of the opposition. On another matter, is Lalai quite all right? I could not help but sense the ether within her swirling with the most unusual fashion. Oh, interesting. He felt it too. Also find it interesting how both of those dialogues are optional. Anyway, let's head outside and prepare our arguments. Nope, with thick-skulled cat boy. Lalai seems in unusually good spirits. I trust the negotiation went well, and yet something concerns me. This is our chance, Brilliant. We simply must convince the prioress at all costs. The future of our art depends on it. What is this curious sensation? Lalai, I knew something was amiss. The ether within you is transforming in a most unusual way. I must admit, I have not felt quite myself lately. My head is as if heavy as stone. Is what, Shitoto gonna come back? Just a second. Okay. No, this will not do. I'm afraid I must insist that you submit a full examination before the hearing commences. Lalai, can you hear me? Someone fetch a healer, or wait, that's me. This is no time to be panicking, my friend. We must carry her to the monastery with all speed. What is she, Toto trying to come back or something? I'm sure Lala will be fine, but this is still odd. I fear it is as I suspected. The etheric balance within her has broken down entirely, and unchecked energies are now eating away at her from within. Uh-oh, that's not good. I can only assume that playing host to Shitoto's memories has put a terrible strain on her, one from which she has yet to completely recover. Yes, it would seem that her mind and spirit are in mortal peril. I have never witnessed this degree of etheric imbalance before. I don't suppose you have? Oh, yes we have actually. I saw a world consumed by light. I saw a man transform into a whole unholy abomination. Yeah, let's scare him a bit. Great idea. I see. I can scarcely imagine all you have witnessed in your travels, but the imbalance of either, similar to what I now observe in Lalai, would appear to be behind the phenomena you describe. If you can assume that the memories of Shitoto taking up residence in Lalai's corporal ether form stimulated her etheric flow, causing it to shift violently in an astral direction, then it only stands to reason we could restore our balance by introducing a counter-umbral aspect. By the 12, I think I've got it, and yet the process will not be quick, nor easy. I suppose we've no choice but to ask Master Kokobuki to delay the hearing. Oh, but she's not gonna like that. Delay the hearing? Have you lost your wits, you had? Why, if word got out that my condition was the result of the pursuit of the dark arts, it would all but seal Yaki's case against me. No, we must proceed as planned, before our opponents are the wiser. Brilliant. Here is my magnum opus, the fruits of all we went through together. I leave them in your capable hands. Go on ahead, and I will be along in due time. Are you mad? You can't possibly mean to attend the proceedings in your current condition. Of course not. Fortunately, I just so happen to know a hearer who, despite being an insufferable stick in the mud, has proven himself more than capable in the healing arts. Lalai. Very well, leave it to me. I will see that you are back on your feet before judgment is rendered. Until then, I suppose it is up to Brillian here. Godspeed, my friend. Alright, let's go ahead and head on over to the hearing. Let's see, the ossuary? Yeah, the ossuary. Why does they use this one as Death's ossuary for this quest, but they just use the ossuary in other times? Oh well, let's talk to Kokobuki and get started on this hearing. Lalai will be joining the proceedings at such late, you say. That is most unlike her, to say the least. She has entrusted her records to you. Very well. With any luck, we will be able to use them to our advantage. Now, allow me to see them. The prioress will be here all too soon. Oh, right, her. Shouldn't I have some sway with her? Anyway. Lalai has not even the courtesy to arrive on time to the hearing she herself requested. I swear, the woman's selfishness knows no bounds. I move that her request is dismissed immediately. It is for her own good. Her own good? Yes, it is as I suspected. You speak from your own experience, don't you, child? I recall that you too once took an unpopular position in support of her erstwhile master Mumupo, one that earned you only the ire of your brothers and sisters. Yes, and what of it? I fought for a hopeless cause that in the end served only to isolate me from my peers. Is it so wrong that I wish to save Lala from a similar fate? She must abandon this farce at once and return to her rightful place in the Order. To this, I cannot agree. In the short time before these proceedings, I pursued what I could of these tomes. In their pages are written not only forbidden secrets of black magic, but accounts of astounding phenomenon, the likes of which I even could scarcely imagine. Lalai conducted her research without the support or interference of the Order, and the fruits of the search cannot be denied. While our guild could not support 1,000 or others like her, I see little to gain from stifling one woman's passion and forcing her to work within such rigid rules and regulations. The merits of both arguments are not lost on me, and yet I must confess a degree of ignorance about the matter at hand. All know that black magic is forbidden for its role in bringing disaster to our world, and yet you still practice this art. Tell me, adventurer, is this magic as calamitous as the rumors say? I mean, yes, but it depends on who holds it. Yeah, it depends on who wields it. If I understand you correctly, you would argue that in the right hands, even the art of destruction might serve the greater good. And yet, how are we to be certain that Sister Lalai can be trusted with such potentially range knowledge? Shouldn't you lock it up then? My apologies, Prioress. By your leave, I would tell my tale. Black magic is inherently dangerous art. This I cannot and will not deny. Never would I suggest that even a single mage pursue this path without full knowledge of the perils that lie ahead. This is precisely why I have recorded in painstaking detail not only the arcane knowledge I have gleaned, but every last one of the myriad phenomenon, both wondrous and terrifying, I have experienced in its pursuit. Unbreakable bonds formed with beastmen, once thought are sworn enemies, bodies and souls consumed by the pursuit of forbidden knowledge, an unspeakable calamity revisited upon our world after millennia. We must leave this knowledge to posterity, and that our sons and daughters do not repeat the mistakes of our past. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. This is the crux of your argument, yes? Very well. Master Kokobuki, I hereby order you to establish a research organization under the auspices of your guild to further study the impact of black magic. I also grant you permission to store the aforementioned tomes in your archives, under the condition that Sister Lalai oversees them. Wait, that's more than what we were asking for. Understood. I will see that both the tomes and Lalai herself find a safe home within our halls. I'm not entirely convinced, but if the guildmaster himself is willing to accept responsibility, I have no reason to oppose. Prioress Dulala, Master Kokobuki, I cannot thank you enough. Mark my words, you will not regret this decision. I will see that this knowledge is passed down as it should be, that the errors of our past will never be repeated. Well, that went way better than expected. To think the day would come when our art would be recognized once more. Well, I do believe the proceedings went about as well as could be expected. I suppose this means that Lala is now directly under my supervision. Don't think you'll be getting free reign around here simply because I vouched for you, child. I expect regular reports on any and all of your findings. Only through transparency will Black Mage ever be accepted by doubters and skeptics. Understood. I shall begin to prepare my report at once. But before that, there is another with whom I'd like to share my tidings. That is, by your leave, Guildmaster. I believe you know well of whom I speak. He awaits us at the Sacrium. Come along, Brillian. I am relieved to see the girl's etheric balance restored. I suppose it was one of your companions who aided in this, yes? Sure was. I mean, I wouldn't really call him my companion, but it is. I guess he's worked with us before. Anyway, let's head on over to the sack room, and that's probably going to be the end. Yeah, that'll wrap things up. Alright. Oh, ran out of run energy. Right, Lala, let's wrap things up. Yeah, there he's right. I'm like, I know he's here. I just didn't see him with everyone else. Lala has already shared the good news with me. Why, I would not be happier for the both of you. And so, you see, I simply thought, well, whatever is the matter, Lala? This is your moment of triumph. I would expect to be more triumphant. Of course I am. It's simply that, well, clearly, I did not accomplish this on my own, so... Berlin of the Black, and yes, as well as you, thick-skulled Makoti catboy, you have my deepest gratitude. Well, I dare say this has been a monumentous day in more ways than one. Once again, Lalai, my congratulations, and you are most welcome. And with that, I should be on my way. When next we meet, I would introduce my colleagues from Stillglade Fane. Now that you are no longer a parish, I suppose they would not be adverse to exchanging knowledge with you. And just when I was beginning to take a liking to that dolt. At any rate, though my official position may have changed, my mission remains the same. I will do all in my power to preserve our art for future generations. Pray continue to lend me your aid, Berlin of the Black. Sounds good to me. Alright, that wraps up all of the Shadowbringers, all of the Black Mage quests. Now I just gotta actually learn to play Black Mage. Anyway, time to wrap things up. Hope you had a good time. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I plan on doing the... we're going to do Golden Saucer. The last of the... Hold on. You should have enough rep. No, unfortunately, I'm not going to have enough rep to finish the Arcos Odara quest, so I'll need to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Wait, in that case... I was thinking of doing the physical range DPS. I was thinking of doing the physical range DPS quests for on Sunday, but I might change that to Saturday so that we'll be able to do Arcos Adara quest on Sunday. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. Next stream will be tomorrow. I'll just need to figure out exactly what we're going to end up doing. But until then, goodbye.